Okay, so good afternoon and welcome to today's show. So this is a test live stream just to see how this is going to work. And so I'm going to bring up a friend, a colleague, and a mentee who is also joining me on this particular show, just for us to test out and see um, what this looks like. Okay, and so today we'll be discussing briefly on a crucial topic. So sometime this week I had shared on my LinkedIn profile the need for us to not give up, but continue to remain focused. So we're going to be talking about you are called to be an overcomer. So I'm going to bring up Damilola to join. Damilola, welcome.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon.
Good, good afternoon. So I can see that we have three people already watching us. So Dami, if you have your YouTube on, just turn it off so that because the echo will be coming back. So I can see that we have three people who are currently. Okay. And so for those who are those joining us live, you can actually post comment, use the comment section in case you want to participate in the program, in the live stream. Use the comment section to type in your comment, and then we would showcase those comments on the screen. Okay, so like I said, this is a test live stream just to see if this will work and if it will work very well or not.
I see that Michael's feed has just gone off. I'm pretty sure he's going to log back in. So we'll just give it a few seconds, hopefully.
Okay, so that we lost connection there. So are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. I couldn't see you
Right.
for a few
So like I
seconds.
said, this is a test. So we're testing to see whether this will work or not. Okay. And
Okay.
so far I can see it says that we have two live viewers. Are you also watching from your YouTube?
Is that me? Is that
Yes,
directed at me? No,
yes,
I'm not. I'm not on YouTube. I'm on StreamYard. I
yes.
closed my YouTube. I was just wondering about maybe echoes or interference. So I closed.
Okay, okay, fine. So I can hear some echo. Okay, you are not using a mic. Yeah, that's why the echo. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
If you're using a headset, it will regulate the sound.
oh, I can just
So,
pick up the headset.
and then plug it. So let's see that that can regulate.
All right
So
then. Just a
let's
second.
see. Good. Okay, so while waiting for Danny to join us, I'm going to try to go through briefly what we want to share, which is talking specifically about being an overcomer. So what does it really mean to be an overcomer? We're going to talk about the overcomer. So let's start by, first of all, defining who an overcomer is. Okay. So if you're just joining for the first time, you can see at the bottom of your screen is scrolling there for you to follow us. Follow me on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and then also follow this YouTube channel. And like I said, this is just a test live stream to test out this software and then to see how it looks going forward. So who is an overcomer? Okay, so an overcomer is one who succeeds in dealing with or gaining control of some problem or difficulty. That is who an overcomer is. So you have a problem or you have a challenge that you are grappling with, and you intend to gain control of that particular problem and overcome it. Okay, that's basically who an overcomer is. One who has been able to gain control of the problem or difficulty that they are going through and then do something good out of it. Okay, so what are the things we need to get to know when it comes to describing who an overcomer is? One thing that is critical that you need to know is that nothing becomes great until it overcomes something. So if you want to be great, it means you need to overcome something. Take, for instance, you go to school and then you want to get a first class, or even if you want to pass out of the school, you need to write an exam and overcome that particular exam, and that is when you say that you have succeeded. So I have Dami is back here. So let's ask her in her own. She should just share with us what does she or who does she describe as an overcomer. So Dami, who is an overcomer to you? Who would you say is an overcomer?
Okay, so thank you so much for this opportunity, Michael, and I hope the feedback is gone now. I hope you can hear me better.
Yes, yes.
Thank you much. So when I think of the word overcomer, or when I think of a person that the word overcomer describes, the adjective that comes to mind is resilience. Adjective who has decided not to be stopped by obstacles. I read something today and it said the obstacle is the way through. So that defines an overcomer. You see an obstacle, but you don't see it as a full stop or as an ending. You just see it as a pause, as a chance to re-strategize, or a chance to an opportunity to realign, and then you keep your eyes on the goal. For me, that's my definition of an overcomer.
Okay, thank you very much. So I had shared that for one to overcome, okay, I've said that nothing becomes great until it overcomes something. So one of the qualities of one who is described as an overcomer is simply that they've been able to overcome something. So there are times opportunities will show up, okay? Opportunity will show up. You have doors of opportunity show up. For us to be able to say that we are winning, okay? It means that when an opportunity presents itself, there is always a challenge by the side that will somehow want to stop you from accessing that opportunity. Can you share with us any experience? Have you had such an experience whereby there's something you want to grab, you are seeing it is in front of you, and then but there are obstacles that are stopping you from reaching it easily?
So yeah, I think my challenge right now will be to narrow down a particular example, but just moving forward in your career is definitely it's definitely filled with challenges, I would speak from my perspective as a woman. Um, Advancing in a career when you're trying to also build a family comes with various challenges. You have to learn how to balance the work life and life. You also have to know how to prioritize. So I guess sometimes women don't advance very quickly in their careers, and this is just my opinion because of the challenge of balancing. So that one of the things that I can say I had to overcome was balancing my life in my life outside of work and my life with work, because when an opportunity comes, usually it comes with more responsibility, and the aim is not to sacrifice one part of your life for the other. You just have to learn how to manage. So for me, I like to be very hands-on in the home. I want to do everything myself. But as I started to get more responsibility at work, I had to learn how to ask for help. That might seem so simple for other people, but for me, just not being able to micromanage my house or my home, it was a challenge. I had to learn how to be more mature, allow people to help me do things instead of just being in charge of everything. So for me, that was a very unique challenge, but it was something I needed to do to be able to take up my responsibility in the office so I don't have to constantly come to work tired and feel drained in the morning.
Okay, that's good. There's this example about the butterfly, for the butterfly, when it starts, it's actually more like a caterpillar, and then it's inside a cocoon. And then for it to come out to become this beautiful butterfly that we see flying around, there's need for that caterpillar to struggle within the cocoon and eventually come out of its shell, and then everyone begins to admire this beautiful looking butterfly. So that story tells us that for any success, for anyone to have success, it means that success is not that very easy. So we need to do something to be able to achieve success. And then there's a saying that says that if everybody is able, okay, here what I have on the screen says, if outstanding success comes easy, everybody will have it. I guess that's why not everyone has success. So some people are struggling with it. And for you to be able to have it, you need to overcome that challenge. And then if everybody says, but if everybody had it, then it wouldn't be outstanding success. So outstanding success requires some sort of work, like the story of the butterfly. And I think early this week, or was it last week, I shared something about Job. Okay? So I said, when you read the book of Job, from the beginning, from chapter 1 up to chapter 40, you just keep seeing about suffering, how Job lost of things, family, his property. He lost so much, but somehow because he tarried, he did not give up easily. It turned out that in chapter 41, because he remained steadfast, he was able to overcome those challenges, and eventually he got those things restored. And when they were restored more than what they were expecting. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that for those who are watching, okay, this particular video right now, or those who are going to watch the video later on, as we enter into the second half of the year, maybe the first half of the year has been very rough. Okay, you've lost so much. I know there are people who have lost job, people who have lost loved ones, and then they are grappling with the fact, how do I continue to live? What do I do, to get to the end of the year to ensure that they achieve success? So basically, what that message from that post is telling us is that, for us to be able to succeed or overcome what we're facing, there's a price to pay. Okay, there's a price to pay. So the price for freedom, flight, or discovery is struggle. So we need to struggle. And then talk about development. If you want to go in your career, you need to develop. And then you also need to break through. So for you to break through, it means that there must be an obstacle that you are faced with, which you will break in and break through and go across. So can you describe for us, Dabi, what would be your advice to people who currently have lost jobs, or who are out there still seeking, to get job, and they've been applying, trying every now and then, and they've not been successful. So, and they're about giving up. What would be your message to them?
Okay, so thank you, Emmanuel, for that question. I'll start with be easy on yourself. Just be easy on yourself. It's like we all know 2020 has been an amazing year, just to put it lightly. It's been nothing like most of us would have dreamed. So I'd say keep yourself in a good mental space, because for me that's the foundation of everything. You have to pace yourself. You know, sometimes you need to step back. I know it might not seem like the thing to do, but try not to overwhelm yourself. Every opportunity that you have to also develop yourself. So the job market is extremely competitive right now, and there's so many new skills in demand. And to the benefit of most of us, some of these skills we can learn them free of charge. So if you can also upskill yourself in whatever market you're searching for a job in, that will also be helpful. And you know, just build your capacity. And by capacity, I mean if you've been applying, and you don't get a response, take a step back, pause and think, what might I be doing wrong? So reevaluate the CV you're sending out, to reevaluate the format in which you're sending your cover letter, make sure that you re-engineer every CV, you tailor every CV to the vacancies you're applying for, and don't give up. You know, affirm yourself every morning. That's something I'm learning to do now. You know, just speak some words over yourself. This has nothing to do with religion or spirituality. It is just how you feel in your mind. Speak some words of affirmation to yourself. Today is going to be a good day. You know, I'm not going to give up today. And like I said, pace yourself. You don't have to apply to 25 jobs a day. You don't have to talk to 25 people every day. Just give yourself if you're going to apply to 4 or 5 jobs today, you know, do 4 or 5 jobs today, but make sure you put in your very best, and keep hope alive. That's another thing you need to do. Keep your spirit up. It's definitely not easy. It's a challenge, but you have to go through it, and hopefully at the end of the day you come out with good news.
Okay, thank you for that. So, are there specific training skills that you think while waiting, okay, while waiting for this job, are there specific skills or training that you recommend job seekers to seek out for, to participate, or to get acquainted with? Do you have anyone that you want to share?
Oh, definitely. Maybe not the exact link to go to, but
Yeah.
skill working remotely. So it could be how to coordinate a meeting on Zoom, Blue Jeans, you know, I forget the name of these applications now, but just how to,
Teams.
yes, how to be on meetings on virtually. You know, that is something that I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. So you have to leverage on technology. If you're not used to working on emails, Outlook, Google, whatever mail platform that organizations use nowadays, I think you need to upskill in that area. I also need to upskill in the area of data. Everything is data focused now. Everything is data focused, no matter what market or what career you're in. Data is a big part of it. So I would encourage you to upskill in the area of data. I'd also encourage just the basic office apps like Microsoft Outlook, PowerPoint, Word, Excel, Google. You know, because people are not seeing each other physically, information has to be represented virtually now. And so you need to be able to construct a good email. You need to be able to put your data in Excel. You need to put your data in PowerPoint for people to be able to visualize, because we're not having face-to-face meetings that much anymore. So those are the basic things I would advise folks to learn how to do. And another thing which I'm actually just reading on is having executive presence in virtual meetings. I didn't know that was a thing, how to appear confident and Make sure that your point carries up, carry on a conversation professionally while you're on a virtual meeting. So it's just starting points for me.
Okay, thank you. That's lovely. I believe that for those who are watching and for those who will watch later on, they will benefit from what you've just shared. So I'm having with me Damilola Uzo Onya, an HR professional, and she's sharing with us tips that will help us to overcome whatever barriers that we are facing with regard to our career. So if you're watching and you have questions, please use the comment section to drop the questions, and then we'll try to take them. So questions for those who are viewing us, what are you trying to overcome? So that's my question to you. What are you trying to overcome today? Okay. Instead of complaining about those things that you want to overcome, this is the time for you to take action. Okay, take action, do something. You need to move. Okay, don't just sit there and continue to complain and expect answers to come. You need to take action. You need to first of all identify what is the challenge that you are facing, and then prepare an action plan and begin to work on that action. So it seems as if we have some comments. Let's see. I have a comment from Nancy. She says, thank you so much for the insights so far. Thank you very much, Nancy, for joining. Then we have a second comment from Ruth Ogele Jode. She said, thank you very much. Okay, so those are the two comments that we have. And if there are no questions, so we'll be wrapping up this test transmission. Like I said, it's a test live stream. I had to just bring in Dabi suddenly. She wasn't prepared for this, so that tells us we need to be ready anytime, considering that we are in the virtual world today. Meetings are done virtually, just like the way Dabi has described. So you need to be ever ready to come online for a meeting, okay? Or maybe for a chat. So a recruiter might just see your profile online or want to have a chat with you. So you should be ever ready so that you can come on. So I can see Nancy has a question. Let's see if we can attend to that. She said, you spoke on being confident in virtual meetings. I've attended a couple meetings. And also make my presence shown. So did you get the question, Ali?
Yes, I did. I did. Question.
So how can she become confident?
Thank you very much, Nancy. And first off, don't feel too strange. A lot of people struggle with this. I did actually, and I will tell you how I overcame. So thankfully, the organizations I work with, we've been into virtual meetings for a while before this whole pandemic made everybody go virtual. So I've had some time to practice. But when I was still new to virtual meetings, one of the first thing I did was practice seeing yourself on camera. Basic. It can be distracting if you're not used to seeing yourself in your screen when you're speaking. So first advice would be when you don't have any meetings, just log on to whatever app it is that you might be using, Zoom. If you're not logged onto any platform, you can just use your phone camera, turn it on yourself, and speak into the camera so you see how you look, and there are things that you might want to correct about how you look or how you're coming across. It might be background, it might be where you're staying, it might be the lighting, it might be just the tone of your voice. Speak into the camera and then watch it so you can some feedback, some original feedback for yourself. And then another thing is to prepare ahead. Try to don't be too casual about about the meeting because it's virtual. Prepare for it like you're going for a physical meeting. And then also there's so many materials on YouTube and online that can help you But for me, what really helped me were these two things. I just tried to get used to seeing myself on camera, in video, and hearing my own voice. And then I also prepared for the meeting. I prepared for the meeting both in what I would like to say, as much as I can prepare my content, and also just my environment, make sure there's as little distraction as possible. I know that is quite hard nowadays, but as little distraction as possible, make sure that I have everything I need on my seat. I make sure that the lightning is as much as I can control the internet connectivity. I make sure that I have good enough internet. So that helps. And do not be afraid to speak up if you have something to say. Another thing I learned the hard way is please put yourself on mute if you're not speaking, or if you're not planning on speaking, just put yourself on mute. Learn to love your mute button. Only on mute when you have something to say, so nobody catches your backhand comments and all of that. Practice, practice, practice.
Okay, thank you very much. So Ruth says she has a question, but she hasn't typed in the question yet. So Ruth, if you're still there, you need to type in your question in the comment section, and then we can take that question before we round up. So we intend to round up any moment now.
Okay, while we wait
and you want to ask a question? Yes, go ahead.
I have a question for you too. So because we're all still learning, and just adjusting to this new world as it is, what would you suggest, like in response to Nancy's question? I'd just like to hear from you.
I think you've said it all. You said it all. For every meeting, okay, there's need for you to prepare, and in preparation, you need to know the agenda for that particular meeting. So just the way we prepare for our physical meetings, we also need to put same amount of preparation for virtual meetings, okay? And again, the additional thing with regard to the virtuals that because you feel that I'm not walking into a room for my colleagues to see me, because most meetings, one of the requirements is that you need to put on your video, okay? Because if the video is not on, it will assume as if the person who is speaking is just speaking to the air and nobody is really listening or watching. So you need to make sure that you are properly dressed. Try to remove all those distractions. When you go into a physical meeting room, we try to remove distractions, okay? So if you have a virtual meeting, ensure that you've also removed those things that will likely distract you from focusing on that particular meeting. Maybe you need a journal to write with, or a notebook. Make sure you come with, have that notebook by your side so you can make so you see you have one. So make sure you have that notebook so you can put down the points from what is shared in that particular meeting. Just prepare if you know what it is. And again, what I've also realized with the virtual meetings is that the virtual meetings are actually done quickly, faster, and we're able to decide on issues, faster than when we have them in a physical setting, because the physical setting will be just chatting and then playing away time. But we know that we need to get this meeting done with, maybe because there's another event or another function or another meeting that we need to attend. So, and then the other thing I also noticed with virtual meetings is that the meetings start on time, okay? Unlike the physical meetings, people will be strolling in. So these days I noticed that for the virtual meetings, we're able to start on time and then finish when we expect to finish. So I think you've provided a very good answer. So in terms of being confident, if you're prepared, you'll be confident. So even if, say, for instance, an interview, if you are prepared, okay, don't mind that you are using a virtual tool to connect with the person who is interviewing you. Preparation is key. When you're prepared, you'll be able to exhibit that confidence that's required in the meeting. Okay, so I guess Ruth, okay, so Ruth's question finally came in. So let's see what she's asking. It says, with over 5 years work experience, is it all right to pursue internships as the job market is currently tough? What's your view, Dami?
Okay, I was going to say I will leave this to you.
But let's hear what you have to say, then I will not say mine.
From experience. So I'm not going to give a solid yes or no. 5 years of experience is not insignificant, to be honest. But then it depends on what kind of internship you are speaking about. If you mean an internship with maybe a global multinational, if it's an internship with maybe Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Siemens, GE, some really great, I would say consider it. But for just if it's not an internship that can move your career like 3 steps forward, I would ask that you reconsider. Now, the reason I say this is an internship with maybe like a Fortune 500 company or a market leader would probably advance your career faster. But if you look at it and you see that what you're going to gain at the end of the day is just the salary for the time being, and I'm being careful saying this, knowing that folks need to survive. But from someone like me, that one of my first career choices was to take less money to join a multinational. So um, I did that because I wanted to work for a multinational. And so I had to take a pay cut. I had to I had 2 years of experience, but then I had to go into an early career development program. So for me, it was like a step down, but I knew what I wanted and it paid off at the end of the day. So if you can, I don't want to use the word gamble, but if you can just look at the options and take a peek at the future and see what the possibility is. If it's something that can advance your career, I'd say go for it. But if something that you can't see how it is going to impact positively on your next steps, I would say consider. But then I leave it to Emmanuel as the expert to give us his
Okay.
advice.
Okay, so I would say you're on point, Dami. Okay, so but in my own case, what I will advise is instead of looking out for internship, look for opportunities to volunteer. Okay, internship will be required if, say, for instance, you are changing role. Okay, so if you are changing role, moving from what you currently do to a new role, then you can seek out for internships while waiting for the job. But if you are not seeking a new job role, search out for volunteer opportunities, okay? Look out for organizations who will require your kind of service and offer to volunteer yourself, okay? Or volunteer your services to them. That will help to put you in front of them and then also showcase what you are doing during this particular period so that it doesn't look as if you're just sitting back home doing nothing while waiting to get a job. So volunteer, look for opportunities to volunteer in 1, 2, 3 places. It will expose you, bring you in contact with several other recruiters, and you might eventually find yourself landing a job. And then while also volunteering, find opportunities to improve your skills, okay? For the job that you're looking for. Every day, like we see, things are changing, new things are coming up. Try to also skill yourself up, okay, with all the new skills or tools that are coming up that will make your work easy. This will help to project what you have and then able to separate you from the crowd. So you're able to stand out from the crowd. So that would be my advice. So I think we've come to the end of the show. So feel free to follow Dami on LinkedIn. So just search for her name is Damilola Uzo Onya on LinkedIn. Feel free to follow her and also follow me on my LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, and this YouTube handle. So until we come back next time, thank you very much. So Dami, do you have any last words before we sign out?
No, just thank you for the opportunity. It's always a great opportunity to listen to you and to learn. So thank you. And to everybody, please do not give up. 2020, as you know, it's bashed a lot of people, but I just believe that if you keep your heads up and your hopes alive, that will come through.
Okay, thank you very much, Dami. Thank you, and I wish you a happy week and weekend, and thank you for joining at such a very short notice. So
Thank
have a
you
nice
very
day.
much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, so that is that for today. We would sign off. And so that's the end of the test. This, like I said, this is a test live stream. I will make an announcement on when we would have a formal structure and then let you know how often we'll be coming on. The essence of having this channel up is to continue to share the time we're going to be live streaming the events on this particular channel. So thank you very much for those of you who joined. Nancy, Ruth, thank you for coming on board to support this test live stream. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.